Welcome back to the Resistance Revolutionary Party and the sixth and final installment to What the Democrats Need to Do. I'm your host, Gregory Duncan. After the insurrection of domestic terrorism on January 6, 2021 at the U.S. Capitol, led by Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump Jr., Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, and many others in Congress and their minions, there's no doubt what President Biden, House Speaker Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Schumer, and U.S. Attorney General Garland needs to do, or this will happen again. And no U.S. election, presidential or otherwise, will be enough to save our democratic republic the next time. What would be the consequences of the Democrats' inaction in allowing Trump to get away with his seditionist, corrupt, and criminal behavior, and the Republicans enabling and emboldening Trump or a Trump-like type in the future to subvert our Constitution? We don't want to find that out. Over 74 million people voted to keep the dictator-in-chief Trump in office for another 4 years, while more than 81 million people voted to elect Joe Biden, a man of dignity, integrity, and honor, to the presidency of the United States, of which I was one of them. Clearly, this country is divided, has been, is now, and more than likely will always be. There is no understanding, compromising, or cooperation coming from a group of hypocritical, delusional lunatics who support an autocracy government. The people who voted for Trump and continue to support and enable him do so because of who Trump is, a negative, hateful, selfish, greedy, stupid, lying piece of garbage, just like they are. Birds of a feather. Trump and these minions subvert the Constitution as well as the Bible and use both as a tool and a weapon for their evil purposes, to try and justify their opinions, lies, and delusions. Back in 2016, there were people who said they could not vote for Trump or Hillary Clinton. They believe there are two sides of the same coin. And as stupid and as crazy as that was then, there are still people who believe that to this day, and some even think Hillary would have been a worse choice. Seriously? How do you have a rational conversation with someone who believes Hillary Clinton is running a child sex trafficking ring in the basement of a pizza parlor where they also eat children? If you're joking, okay, haha, not very funny. But if you actually believe that, then you've gone past and beyond the reaches of sanity. And no amount of therapy can help you. You need to be put away to protect you from us and more than likely even yourself. And you should be fixed. So someone like you can't procreate. No longer can the Democrats just sit back and complain about what the Republicans have done, are doing, or will do without holding them accountable. The Democrats now have the power to hold Republicans accountable. If their leadership continues on the path of weakness, they need to be called out and removed by the next election. Their complicitness and capitulation can no longer be tolerated. Particularly, I'm speaking of President Biden, House Speaker Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Schumer, and, if necessary, Attorney General Garland, or whoever will be the U.S. Attorney General, as well as many others in Congress. One reason Trump and the Republicans do what they do is because they believe Democrats will not do anything about it. Although, even if Democrats were to hold them accountable, they would still do what they do because it's just who they are. Lying, cheating, corrupt, and scheming type of group. And they can't change their ways. A leopard can't change its spots, and they won't even try. They are who they are, which is why Democrats must hold Republicans accountable for breaking rules and worse, committing crimes and aiding and abetting Trump. Trump isn't the only Republican who is guilty. Moscow Mitch McConnell threatened Democrats to not pursue partisan politics. And coming from McConnell, that's laughable. Moscow Mitch has been pursuing partisan politics since he's been in Congress. And for those who don't believe that, here are three examples. In 2011, McConnell said that the Republicans' top priority should be to deny President Obama a second term. Two, McConnell in 2016 blocked President Obama's Supreme Court pick for 9 months following the death of Justice Scalia and didn't even allow Merrick Garland a hearing. Three, sat on numerous bills passed by the House, passed in the House by Democrats in 2019, such as infrastructure bills, and he refused to inform the American people about Russia's interference in the 2016 presidential election, as President Obama has suggested that they both do together. So you know what McConnell can do with his threat about partisan politics. He can shove it where the sun don't shine. It is Republicans who pursue partisan politics at every turn, because that's why they run for office and what their constituents send them to Congress and the White House to do. In other words, make government as dysfunctional as can be. Now, we just had a presidential election, and for months, Trump claimed he would only accept the results of the election if he wins. He claimed that the election would be rigged and the Democrats would try and steal the election, as he had done so in the 2016 presidential election, where he claimed that one was going to be rigged. Mind you, he and the Republicans had been gerrymandering districts by drawing the map that would favor Republicans winning elections, suppressing votes by making sure that legal citizens couldn't vote even if unless they had a specific type of government ID. He insisted on, Trump that is, insisted on throwing out legal ballots that they claim, or I should say Republicans as well as Trump, insisted on throwing out legal ballots that they claim that the signatures didn't match on the ballot what they had on record, and getting rid of as many polling places in specific areas and specific swing states. Filed numerous lawsuits claiming voter fraud with no evidence. Whenever you ask voters who voted for Trump, do they believe in the legitimacy of President Biden, in President Biden's win, they will say no. They believe the election was rigged. Now, first of all, that's a lie. They know as well as anyone that the election, if rigged, was rigged by Donald Trump and the Republicans. They believe if they keep saying that it was rigged, that would somehow delegitimize Biden's win. And they want to maintain their lie, which they hope will get you to believe that same lie. I have a lot of notes here, so I'm just trying to keep everything in order of what I have to say, because I have a lot to say. Now, the Democrats and all of those who had opposed Trump and the Republicans in their continued lying, corruption, manipulation, suppressing the vote, subverting the Constitution, as well as their insurrection on January 6, 2021 at the U.S. Capitol, do not need to spend the next 4 years defending their actions on how they choose to govern. Republicans have no moral or legal ground to stand on. Their actions for the past 4 years, if not for the past 50 years, is witness to that fact. Case in point, they claim that Trump won the 2020 presidential election. Their claim that Donald Trump won the presidential election and that the election was rigged, well, they're lying. They know Trump didn't win, but they believe if they accept that lie within themselves as the truth, that people will believe there is some honesty and legitimacy into that lie. They also believe that if they keep pushing the lie, it will somehow delegitimize Biden's presidency, as well as democracy itself. They also tried that with President Obama back in 2010. I believe that was the year where they claimed that he wasn't born in this country. Let me see, where is my other notes? So don't be fooled by Trump and his fools. I know some people might find this a little hard to believe, but you can have millions of voters, people working in Congress, as well as in law enforcement and the military and a political party and a religious group, the Vice President of the United States and President of the United States, who are all citizens who are willing to overthrow the U.S. government to achieve their own goals of corruption, criminality, treason, limitless power and wealth, continued suppression of others, which will benefit them as they see it. Now, that's about all I have to say on this video. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you perhaps next season for the 4th season, if there'll be one. We'll see. Have a good day.